Good evening, traders. I am Devang Mehra, and I welcome you to the Bold Project from the Financial Analyst. In this module, we will be discussing about what is fundamental analysis, what is technical analysis, and can we combine both of these to make an informed trading decision. So tune in, watch till the end because you'll be learning something new. So first of all, let's understand something. If you're watching this video, you are only 0.5% of the people in the world who are going to learn technical analysis. So you should consider yourself lucky because you're already ahead of your competition. So with that being said, it's a difficult art and a science, but with our help, we will be simply breaking it down for you to help you make money in the markets. So when I talk about financial markets, not only the stock markets, it can be commodities, foreign exchange, any segment, any asset class. Whenever I talk about financial markets, there are three sides to it. The first side of analysis is something I like to call fundamental analysis, something you've all heard of and something you all must be knowing at least something about. The other side is called the technical analysis, what we will be learning in this course extensively. And there is another side, actually there are only two sides, but I personally like to add another side of analysis, which I like to call sentimental trading. What is that? I will come to in the end. Let me first explain for the beginners who are watching this video what is fundamentals, and I will explain how they are different from technicals. Let's get started. Fundamental analysis is what? Basically, you come to me and you ask me, Devang, is Reliance a good company? So when you ask me such questions, you are indirectly asking me, is Reliance a good company? Means, does Reliance have a good profitability? Does Reliance have a good revenue growth year on year? Does Reliance give a good return to the shareholders in form of dividends? Does Reliance have a good management who has a good future prospect? Does Reliance is it undervalued? Is it overvalued? Does it have good ratios, financial ratios such as return on capital employed, a good current ratio, good working capital ratio, good debt equity ratio? So what I'm trying to say is when you ask me such company specific questions, and when you are concerned with finding much more about the company, reading the balance sheets, reading the profit and loss accounts, reading the directors reports, the annual reports, so then you are asking me about the fundamental analysis. The best example would be Warren Buffett. He's essentially a fundamental analyst, or how they would like to say, he's a value investor. What is a value investor? You can search about that on the internet. I will give you a brief about that. Value investing basically means finding high book to market ratio companies. What is that? Again, you can find it on the internet in detail, but just to give you a small answer about that, what is Warren Buffett actually doing? He uses this approach of value investing, and in which we basically find which companies are high book to market. What is book ratio and market ratio? Book ratio basically means the book value basically means what is the actual worth of the company. Let's say the worth of the company in the books of accounts is 100 rupees, and currently in the market the share of that company is trading at 120 rupees. So you can see there is a 20 rupee gap. So a company worth 100 is trading at 120 already. So what is it? Overvalued. This is called low book 100 to a low book to market ratio. So low book to market ratio companies are considered to be overvalued companies. What are value investors doing? I'm not saying that's the only approach, but one of these approaches to find companies which are trading at lower intrinsic values. For example, high book to market. So they have a book ratio of 100. They are worth rupees 100 on the books of accounts. Their market value, the share price of that company is only 80 rupees. So you can see they are worth 100, but they're trading at 80. So there is still the room of 20 rupees left. So it means you are undervalued. This is basically what the value investors do. There are tons of approaches to it. You can study about them in some different course, but it is a very interesting side of analysis, fundamentals. Who does fundamental analysis? It is not for your day trading, not for your short-term trading, but fundamental analysis is employed by those people who want to be in the security, be in that asset for a long period of time. For example, you identify a company which is very good and sound fundamentally, you stay invested in that company and essentially marry the stock for 5 years, 10 years, etc., because of the good fundamentals and the good future prospects. That is what is fundamental analysis. Coming to the second side of analysis, what is technical analysis? Now, technical analysis is an art and a science. This is how I'd like to put it. Basically, it is based on one principle, or I would say one assumption. That is that your history repeats itself in the future. Whatever has happened in the past will happen in the future. That's the assumption technical analysis makes. So if the price has done something in the past, it is expected to do that in the future. Obviously, it is subjective. All these sides of analysis are subjective in nature. They differ from analyst to analyst, but it's totally up to you. What we will be teaching you, people have made tons of money in technical, so you have to agree to disagree if you want to. So coming back to technical analysis, I will give you a layman's language of what is technicals. You are basically coming to me and asking me, is Reliance a good company? That is what fundamental analysis. I will tell you, of course, Reliance is a good company. Then you come to me and ask me, when can I buy Reliance? How long should I hold Reliance? And when should I exit Reliance? Also, if I buy Reliance, what is my target price? And if my trade goes wrong, what is my stop loss price? So when you ask me these specific questions, you are basically focusing on technical analysis. So now you must have got an idea what you are looking for as a person. Are you looking for fundamentals of a company, or you are looking for technicals? Both are two different rooms of analysis. To give you a more sophisticated way of putting things, technical analysis basically analyzes what? Three things. It analyzes your price, it analyzes your volumes, and it analyzes your open interest. These are three things a technical analyst analyzes, and depending upon that, he will make a trade decision what he wants to do in the days to come. Whether you want to buy, sell for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 year, 100 years, that's totally up to you. People have this wrong perception that technical analysis means intraday trading. I would like to tell you right now before I start the program, technical analysis does not mean intraday. There are huge tons of people who do technical analysis for longer periods of time. If you are not aware, there is a program called CMT, Chartered Market Technician, just like your CFA program, which focuses everything on technical analysis. So it is a very reputed field. Just to recap, you are focusing on when to buy and when to sell. If you are an intraday trader, you want to buy and sell in one day. If you are a long term, you want to buy and sell in 1 year. So you will use the same concept, same principles, but on different time frames. Doesn't matter who you are, the concepts will be the same, and you can use technicals even for long term investing. So again, in the sophisticated language, the definition would be technical analysis means that you are analyzing price. What is price? What is the price of Reliance, where it is trading? So you are analyzing that aspect. Number two, how many shares of Reliance are traded? What is the volume of Reliance? So today, maybe 1 million shares are traded. Tomorrow, 5 million shares are traded. So the volume keeps on changing. So you are analyzing what is the price, you are analyzing what is the volume, and what is the open interest. That is a concept that we cover in derivatives. So you can ignore that for now. We will be concerned about price and volume in this entire course of training. And we will use this data to understand what the markets are trying to show us. And accordingly, we will take a trading decision. So how I would like to put it is that my chart is the source of the news for me. I do not have to see tons of news because my chart will be telling me everything from the analysis of price and volume. So this is technicals. The other one was fundamentals. I want to talk about one last thing before I end up this module. It is called the sentimental side of trading. So I told you there's fundamental, there's technicals, and this third side is something not a lot of people talk about, but it's something that is there. So in a normal scenario, we use technicals to find when to buy and sell, but there are some times like the sentimental time. I'll give you a very, very good example of the current market conditions. I look at the daily charts, and you can see the charts of Nifty on the daily time frame. And can you see this huge big rally that came into the market? Let me ask you some simple question. Is the market are the businesses right now in the coronavirus time doing very good? I've heard there are news updates from the Eurozone, UK, Paris, Germany, that the lockdowns are getting extended. Even America is planning on closing down the schools again and starting a lockdown. Things are not very good, but still the markets have went up about 1,000 points. Did your fundamentals work here? No, absolutely not. The fundamentals did not work here. Did your technicals work here? No technical gave you a buy signal currently on Nifty. So what was happening? This was the sentimental side of trading. Why did this huge rally come into the market? Due to your elections, US presidential elections. Let me ask you something. Biden coming into power, is it actually worth 1,000 point rally in the market? That's not for me to decide, but surely I was not expecting something like this. So whenever such important events happen in the market, for example, India Pakistan border clashes, this is something we will hear, India Pakistan, India China, all these things happening at the border. Something you will hear in the market when you if you're long into the markets, you will see that some kind of news comes, there is a border clash, Jammu Kashmir, India, some stiff happening. So whenever these things happen, none of your fundamentals will work, none of your technicals will work. You will have to come to the sentimental side of the trading, and markets will give you irrational movements. And please understand, do not question these irrational movements. For example, currently markets are trading at all-time highs of 12,730 levels. I cannot say market is overextended and it will fall. Markets will keep on going higher, and you have to follow that trend. Keep on following that trend until the market reverses. Do not have that sentiment of saying that market is overvalued, it is not justifying the fundamentals. That's all a scam. You have to understand that sentimental side of trading. When some news like this comes into the market which has a big impact, things will not follow technicals, things will not follow fundamentals, and surely you have to keep on following the trend. That's something we'll talk about later, but I wanted to make sure you understand the sentimental side of trading as well. This prevails. Coming to the last question, can we combine fundamentals with technicals? That's a question a lot of people ask me. Should we know both of these arts to make money in the markets? Not essentially. Not essentially. If you are a long-term investor, I'll give you a very conservative way. If you are a long-term investor, if you want to buy and sell for over years, buy today, sell after 2 3 years, then I would say try to combine them. The reason is, then you can ask yourself, what is a fundamentally good company? Let's talk about Reliance. Let's give the same example. And then once you fundamentally identify a company, then you basically use the technicals to understand when to buy and sell Reliance. So if you are a long-term investor, I would say try to combine both of the concepts, because you can actually get in at the right price and make a lot of money out of it. So just to reiterate, for long-term investors, we find a good company, example Reliance. Once we've identified a fundamentally sound company, we use technical analysis, the concepts we learn now, to execute when to buy, when to sell, what's the target, and what's the stop loss. Now coming to the short-term side of it, if you are a short-term trader, maybe you want to sell in 1 month. If you are an intraday trader, you want to sell in 1 day, or you are a swing trader, you want to sell in a couple of days, a 1 week or 2 weeks, then do the fundamentals matter? Still people tell me, yes, they do matter, you should not come into bad companies. Let me tell you very honestly, if you are an intraday trader, you do not need to be concerned about the fundamentals. They don't mean anything to you. Very, very simple. All this fundamental data, don't you think it's already factored into the market? Don't you think markets have already discounted it? The reason being, the balance sheets, the yearly the PLs, they come out at a specific date. So that data can't basically have a meaning to you 6 months down the line. For example, the quarterly profits, let's say of the first quarter, April, May, June, they come out in July. So you can't use that data to make a buy sell decision in August. I hope you're understanding what I'm telling you. If you are an intraday trader, if you want to buy and sell in 30 minutes, what will you do of the fundamentals? No matter what the fundamentals are, I can still go against that. So my simple question and my simple view is, for intraday, there is no need to find fundamentally sound companies. I have made tons of money in stocks like Yes Bank and Idea, and all of you are aware, in the current market scenario in 2020, Idea is in under immense pressure of the AGR dues. Yes Bank also, as you are all aware, is under immense pressure, but I've still made tons of money on intraday basis. Still, they are not fundamentally sound companies, but I have not combined them. I hope the entire view is clear. So if you have any doubts, we'll talk about in the weekend discussions, or you can WhatsApp us in the group to help you instantly. Thank you so much, guys.